to the bread kitchen. This week I'm going to make a very light bread which is rich in egg. It's usually made for the Jewish Sabbath or other holidays, and it's called challah. So the ingredients for this bread are 500 grams of good white bread flour, 200 mils of lukewarm water, 75 grams of melted butter, a couple of eggs, 2 tablespoons of sugar, or you could use honey, 2 teaspoons of salt and 2 teaspoons of dried yeast. Pop the sugar and the yeast into the water, mix them together and then leave for 10 minutes for the yeast to activate. Break the eggs into a small bowl and beat them lightly. Put the flour and the salt in a bowl and mix them together. Make a well in the centre. Add in the yeast, the egg and the butter and mix to a smooth, soft dough. And after a couple of minutes it'll all come together into this lovely soft dough. Now put the dough on a lightly floured surface and knead it for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes you should end up with a nice ball of dough which is extremely springy. Now pop the dough into a lightly oiled bowl, then cover it and leave it in a nice warm place until the dough has doubled in size. When the dough is about doubled in size, punch it down, then recover it and let it carry on rising in a warm place until it's doubled in size again. After its second rising, we can take it out of the bowl onto a lightly floured surface. Just knock it back a bit, then knead gently for about 2 or 3 minutes. Now challah is traditionally made in one of 2 forms. Sometimes you'll see it like a snail shell spiral, but most commonly it's braided. And I'm going to braid this with 4 strands. Now if you want to braid your challah with a different number of strands, I have a video on braiding bread which should help you. The link will be attached to this video. I want to weigh it and cut it into 4 equal pieces. So I've got 4 equally sized pieces of dough. Now I'm going to need a much bigger workspace. I've lightly floured my work surface and I'm going to take each ball of dough and roll it out to about 18 inches or 45 centimetres long. So I've got 4 strands of dough now, each one about 18 inches long. I'm going to start by pinching the ends together, the 4 ends. And it only needs to be 1 to 2 centimetres that we squidge. It's really to keep the strands in a fixed point. Now to plait these I'm going to go with 2 pairs. This pair and this pair. And for each pair I'm going to put the right hand one over the left hand one, the right hand one over the left hand one, and then in the middle I'll put the left hand one over the right hand one. So here we go. Right over left. Right over left, left over right in the middle. Right over left, right over left, left over right in the middle. Right over left, right over left, left over right in the middle. And keep going. Now as I get to the end, I'm obviously running out of dough. So I'll just kind of squish these together and cut off this excess piece of dough. And then fold it under. Now at the top end here you can either just fold it under, or I'm going to cut the end off. Just pull the strands apart a little. Smarten it up like that and tuck it under. And there's the braided loaf. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Now transfer the bread onto a well-greased baking tray. Either cover it or pop it into a plastic bag. Then leave it in a nice warm place for about 45 minutes to prove. After about 45 minutes it should have risen well. Now I'm going to glaze it with a mixture of 1 egg yolk and a tablespoon of water. Just brush it lightly all over and then sprinkle all over with some poppy seeds. Now we'll bake this at 180 fan oven, 200 normal oven for about 30 to 40 minutes until it's lovely and golden brown. And once baked it should be this fabulous golden brown colour. Now leave to cool. I know you're dying to know what it's like inside, so let me show you. It's light and springy with a crusty outside. Well, it's a very pretty and very tasty loaf. It is a very light bread with a very rich taste thanks to the eggs and the butter. You can slice it and make it into thin sandwiches or just eat it plain as it is. I hope you enjoy making your challah and do join me next time in the bread kitchen.